tips or tricks? David? You just signed in to...
I went to my newsfeed and saw...
Newsfeed. I'm just like a favorite of his, though, in life. So, all right. Well, we will just jump right in here because we are also sending this link out to everybody else as well. After we get started here. So again, I am Becky Hammond, the founder and success strengths maven over at Isogo. And I just wanted to jump on here today. We have been having a really fantastic week. We have been sharing our video story with you guys with David and I have shared our marriage and strength story with you. It's kind of the first time that together we were able to sit in front of the camera and just invite you into our living room and have a conversation with us about how the strengths perspective has made a significant impact in our marriage. And I don't say that lightly. I mean, I really feel like it has been transformational in the tools that it gave us to work through conflict and to understand each other at a deeper level. And we also had a master class yesterday. I was really excited for all the people who joined us live and how all the people who have now said that they have watched the replay of it as well. I'm thrilled that we have been able to connect with you all in that way. I have been planning on that masterclass since before we had our baby, our sweet little guy. Moses was born in the middle of, or the end of July, and we have planned that masterclass since before he was born. And so I'm excited that we got to do that together yesterday. The replay is still available until tomorrow night. Just like the discount on this course, both of those things close up at 11:59 p.m. Pacific Standard Time tomorrow night. So I hope that you guys get a chance to check out that masterclass if you haven't already, and give yourself some tools, some practical tools through that 1 hour course to re-energize your marriage and your work by using your strengths. So please do go ahead and check that out. Annie, I think that there is you can put that link to the registration page for the masterclass still, and they will automatically get a link of the replay. So even though it looks like you're signing up for the masterclass, you go ahead and register at that link, and that is isogostrong.com/free masterclass. So if Annie, you can put that in the notes, that would be awesome there for everyone who has joined us here. As well, so we are talking about the 9 steps to life change through your strengths course. Right now, we talked a lot about it yesterday during the masterclass. And so here today, our purpose is kind of threefold. We're going to gain clarity about that course. I'm going to tell you a little bit about it. Not as much detail as we went into in the masterclass, but I will definitely let you know what you're going to get there, as well as answer questions that you might have or that other people have had in the past. And also, I just want you to feel like this is your invitation to join us in the 9 steps to life change through your strengths, to re-energize your marriage and your work by using the way that you are already wired, and having some concrete tools to be able to take those 9 steps together with my support along the way. So thank you, Annie, for posting that. Hello, Patricia. Hello, Stephen. Hello, Michelle. I saw you guys jump in there. I'm glad to have you on as well. And Annie pinned the post there for the free masterclass. So if you want to get details, please go ahead and do that. I think one story that that comes to my mind as I was thinking today about the impact that StrengthsFinder has had in our marriage really goes back to just over a year ago now, where we were driving across the country. We had a month together in the car, essentially, with us and 3 kids. And David and I, just a few days into it, just started to miss. We just were at each other's throats in some ways, and we couldn't quite figure out why. and really when we got to the bottom of it, and I'm talking like this is 14 days of kind of duke it out, brawl of words and faking it till you make it when you get to your friend's house. We realized that when we really stopped and paused to think, we realized that what was getting in the way were things that were actually strengths for us, were talents for us, and that we only could get past that conflict by understanding that each of us was violating the deepest psychological and emotional needs that we had, that each of us were violating that of each other. And we only got to the root of that because we understood what our strengths and our talents were. Because your strengths and your talents, and this is one of the things that we go through in the 9 Steps course, one of the most brilliant things about them is that they are like this secret window into what your deepest psychological and emotional needs are. And when you are in a deep relationship, like a marriage, that is like gold, knowing what those needs are. So that you can step in and meet those yourself and know that there is no one else that is responsible for meeting those. But then in the most healthiest of relationships, to be able to be in each other's corner and help meet those needs. So I actually go into that in the car cross-country trip story in our 9 Steps to Life Change course. I go into that in detail and give you the exact insight into what happened there in the car and in the subsequent couple of weeks as we figured out what was causing the heated disconnect between us. As well as we go through in step 6 and 7 in the 9 Steps to Life Change, we go through how your strengths point to your needs and what actual practical action plan you can make to help get some of those needs met and give yourself more fulfillment in your marriage and in your work and in your life in general. So that is just the story that comes to my mind, a glimpse into not only the course, but what is really possible when we have understood the way that we're wired through the language of StrengthsFinder. And so in the 9 Steps to Life Change Through Your Strengths course, you get access to hours of videos. This is story and instruction of me sharing through each one of these steps, a story and the step-by-step of how you can get through each one of these 9 steps. As well, one of the things I'm most excited about and perhaps most proud of is the 9 Steps course journal. This journal is yours to keep and write all over. It is a over 50-page PDF that you can print out and hold and love and have it be a place for you to reflect and allow yourself the time and the activities to be able to really soak in each one of these steps. So after you watch the video, you are able to use this journal to help you walk through each of the steps in the course, as well as over 10 bonus activities. So beyond the general instruction in each of these courses, there are bonus activities that go along with almost every step here. So that is exciting as well. So I see that there's a couple of questions coming in, and I want to make sure that I get to some of those. I had something pulled up that I was going to look at to get all those questions. So hold on just a moment. I think I closed it in my flurry of trying to get myself off of the screen that's in front of me because I had Facebook up, and that was not that helpful to see myself a few seconds delayed. So let me just go ahead and click this over here. Okay, so some of the questions that have come through that I managed to see there were that how long does the course take? And I think time is one of the best types of questions or one of the most common types of questions that we have. People have asked me, I'm busy. I have a lot on my plate. Like, is this something that I can do right now? And I would say it depends. It depends on how how desperately you want to impact your marriage, how desperately you want to impact your work. Because this is life-changing work, but it is work. And it is set up in a really modularly paced way where you can take each step, even a few minutes a day, and get through it like that. I would say that, the fastest of us could probably get through it in a couple weeks and still make sure that they're getting something out of it. As well, the way that I have the accountability corresponding emails set up is about a weekly basis, so that if you were to tackle each one of these steps over the course of a week, then it would take just over 2 months to do this. And I would say that in each of those weeks, it would be about 15 to 20 minutes a day. Some of that's active work. Some of that's just conscious thinking about some of the steps and the concepts that we talk about. So it might feel like a lot, but really it is paced out well, and you can do this in incremental chunks over the course of a couple months and really let the concepts take hold and take root. So thanks for asking that, Michelle. Appreciate that. As I talking about how long it's going to take, I think one of the other things, I was having a conversation with a gal who actually has signed up for the course, and another person came to mind who I think has been actually trying to walk the journey of these 9 steps herself, based on some of the other material that we've put out there, the blog post and that type of thing. And she's considering joining the course. And what I realized, and what I also learned from the most successful people who went through the beta version of this, is that you're going to be most successful when you work on this with somebody else. I mean, the people who win it alone are still working on it. The people who joined in with other people are those who completed it and had a significant life impact by it. And so as I talked to the gal who already has signed up, and the one who I think should sign up, they are considering a partnership together to hold each other accountable. And I would say that's one of the most important things that you can consider as you're deciding if you're going to be able to be successful when you sign up for this course. So that is my 2 cents on how to be most successful as you take the course, and one of the biggest learnings and takeaways from the people who have already have taken this course. There are kind of along that line. Someone has asked me previously. Actually, I think this is Sarah asked this here just now. Is the course for individuals, or could it be for couples too? So I think that hits on a good point. Like, who is this course actually for? And the course is for the person who wants a tangible tool to support an encouraging and connected marriage, or a re-energized work. We do start with Strength Finder, so most people who have joined are those who already know their strengths. Maybe they know a little bit about them, maybe just from their report. So you can start as a novice all the way up to somebody who's really knows a lot about their strengths. We just had a gal join who says that she knows a lot about her strengths already, but she's really excited about seeing how she can apply these to her marriage as well. So there's benefit really for both sides of the spectrum, from the novice to the pro. This is something that I talked about in our 3-part series, as well as in the masterclass as well, that although we want these concepts to impact our marriage, and in the end, that's what we're going for here. We're going for a re-energized marriage, a more deeply connected marriage, more energy in your work. And those things involve other people. Sometimes the most important person to you, that's who's involved in that end impact. And that's the end impact. But where it starts is with you, with the individual. And so, Sarah, there's actually two answers to your question. This is intended to be for you as an individual. You start with yourself. There are activities that help get your spouse involved, but not necessarily assuming that they're going through the course as well. Now, that being said, if you and your spouse could go through this together, you would have, I would say there would be exponential impact, because you're both going through at the same time. You're down into a deeper level of self-awareness that is going to trickle out to each other. And as you go through that self-awareness process, you are then sharing in that and reflecting that with your partner who is doing the same thing, and you're reflecting back to each other. So I think it would be a beautiful thing if a couple wanted to go through it together. But really, this is targeted at the individual level. So you do not have to go through it with your spouse. Just kind of to give you a place to look if you're looking for more information, there is the information page is at isogostrong.com/9 steps will change you. And so Annie, you can go ahead and put that link up there as well for people who are interested in learning more about it in that way. And then I see here, Patricia asked, what future projects are you considering? Thanks for asking that. Yesterday, we had a gal on the call who asked about parenting, and I thought that was a brilliant question. As I was answering the question, it got me thinking, I think we have the next, maybe it's just an Isogo TV video series to start, and we'll see what the interest is. But I've absolutely seen the power of the strengths perspective already in raising our kids, and we've only been at this for 6.5 years, so I'm excited about what's possible if we could possibly raise a generation of kids who are looking for what's right with each other instead of looking at what's wrong. Trying to strengthen our strengths instead of fix our weaknesses. I would love to see a generation rise up, and that's only going to happen if their parents are willing to kind of change their perspective on things. So I would love to be able to work on that future project. So thanks for asking that. Patricia asks something that I can't read all the way. So Annie, can you put that in there? Are you able to identify your something? And this is just because of Facebook Live here. Let's see. Are you able to identify your children's strengths? Yeah. So if you have kids who are 14 and older, then they can take the Strengths Finder just like you and I have, and they can get to the bottom of who they are. They can get language to define what their most amazing talents are. If you have kids who are ages 10 to 14, so kind of that late elementary school through junior high age, then there is an assessment called Strengths Explorer, and it uses simplified questioning, and there's a bit of a different, you get your top 3 strengths out of 10 instead of your top 5 strengths out of 34. They kind of cluster them together a little bit, and it is that is an exciting test for assessment for kids to take. They love to be able to give themselves words to describe things that they're good at. And so for kids who are under 10, and this is where we're at, it's called strength spotting. It's a term that Gallup coined to say, okay, I know this pool of strengths because I'm trying to learn them myself. Where do I see those things in our kids? And how do I give them words to describe what they're good at? So just today, our 4-year-old said, we were talking about something, and I just said, I just love the way that you're made. He said, yeah, I'm kind of caring. And I said, yeah, that's right. You are caring. And he knows that about himself because we reflected that to them. So, from a perfectionist standpoint, this has definitely opened up a world of a different view in the way that I approach parenting. So I will love to continue that dialogue with you someday. So I think that we might just be coming to a close here. Any other questions that anyone can think of right now? I will always be available. I think that's one of the things that I want to make sure that you really hear as you're considering signing up for the 9 Steps to Life Change course is I'm here for you. This is not just me pushing off videos and an awesome journal on you and saying, here you go, have at it. This is me being a part of that with you as well. We have a private Facebook group that we will use. I correspond by email at all hours of the night these days. And I would love to be able to help encourage you along the way as well. David asks, does the strengths approach work? And Annie I'm not sure if her Wi-Fi is going in and out, so she's not able to translate these. It seems like how could I be on Facebook Live and not be able to see the full comment? I don't know. Does the strengths approach work in geopolitical affairs? Thank you very much, sir. Yes. I guarantee it would. If people could just understand that everyone is bringing something valuable to the table, it takes a lot of the machismo out of things, which perhaps makes it not work in geopolitical affairs. But if people could understand that everyone's bringing something valuable to the table and everyone is working from the tools that they have, and that they're not all the same, then it can go that way. Sarah says, did you say how much it cost? Yeah, that's a really good point. We talked about that in our masterclass, but I think I did have that note written here somewhere. So what we talked about here, the step-by-step coaching through the 9 steps, through the videos and through the journal. The journal itself, more than 10 extra bonus original materials and activities for you to use, conversation guides and tools for reflecting. All that is valued over $4,400. If you consider the amount that you would pay if you had one-on-one coaching with someone, with me, with another coach, as well as these customized materials, the value of that is $4,400. And so we have priced these 9 Steps to Life Change Through Your Strengths course at $497. And so what's most exciting about what's happening right now is that we are offering that for $197. That's 60% off the original price, the price that it will go back up to on Friday. And so this is only available through tomorrow at 11:59 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So I hope that you can take advantage of that as well. So yeah, thanks. Thanks for asking that, Sarah. I feel like this is an accessible way to experience a life change that like David and I have, like other people around me who have said, yeah, now we have identified what's unique about us and how we can use that to clarify conflicts, how we can laugh more and fight less, how we can dream more and fret less, how we can, have tough, fruitful, connecting conversations that draw us nearer to each other, how we can discover the secret to getting our deepest and most salient needs met. I will really, truly believe that those types of end goals, those types of future visions of what your relationship is, are realistic. They are out there, and can be achieved by you as you understand who you are through your strengths. You understand who your spouse is through his or her strengths as well. So, if there are no other questions that have popped up, then I think we'll close it out for today. I'm glad that we got to connect and chat here back and forth. Thanks those of you who chimed in and asked questions. Appreciate it a lot. And I look forward to seeing some of you in the 9 Steps to Life Change course. And just remember that the discount goes down tomorrow night. So if you know anyone who you think would benefit from this course, please send them my way. Have them email me directly. I have been on email all day today answering questions from people who are interested and are excited about what their strengths can do to to affect and re-energize their marriage and their work. So hope to hear from you or your friends before tomorrow so you can get in on that discount. So talk to you later. Bye-bye.